and welcome back to Your Comments Matters. I'm your host, Carol Love, and today's comments are coming from KOMO News, and their story is titled Washington Hospitals Face Potential Crisis. Closures under proposed Medicaid cuts. You know, we're doing a series talking about the current Medicaid and Medicare healthcare crisis that we're facing due to these massive cuts from last year that are affecting us this year in what we call the big beautiful bill. Well, we got the story where Washington State, there's a hospital that's going to show up, talk about how this is going to affect them, which is you and I, those that live in Washington State. So we got some great commenters today. We got comments coming from Slippery Rage, Hilly, Button Down, and Von Rock. Is that you? Well, if so, your comments matter to us. That's why they're on the show today. So we're going to go ahead and get into the video, and you're going to hear that this is a crisis. You're going to hear stories from a mother in regards to her child. So let's watch the video, and you make your comments right here below at Your Comments Matters. Let's take a look at the video.
Yeah, Preston, there is a lot that is unknown tonight, but this vote back in Washington, D.C. does set the stage for a major policy shift on Medicaid and billions of dollars in changes in coverage here in Washington state. Inside Harborview Medical Center, Jen Chong-Jewel sits next to her 14-year-old son, Gabriel, and worries about the future.
He's had a couple surgeries. He's been in the hospital. Medicaid has been so integral in supporting his growth, his development, and where he is today.
But Medicaid funding is now uncertain after the big, beautiful bill passed the House.
The bill is passed.
President Trump and cabinet leaders have been pushing for the bill's language with cuts to Medicaid funding and eligibility, including forcing able-bodied adults to work or volunteer to receive benefits. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office suggests the bill would impact 7.7 million Americans, tens of thousands alone in Washington state.
With the repeal of a lot of this, you will see a lot more unfunded individuals, which will cost places like Harborview.
Harborview Medical Center CEO says the trickle-down would impact the system at large, a warning echoed by the state's hospital association that highlights 8 rural hospitals that rely heavily on federal Medicaid reimbursements.
Hundreds of millions of dollars to your bottom line every year, as you can imagine, would decimate the ability to do all of that care.
There is a lot that is still unknown and a strong possibility the Senate could amend the legislation.
It's so hard as it is right now. To imagine it being dismantled is just devastating.
Leaving Jewel and Gabriel anxiously waiting for the next vote. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson in a press conference called the situation dire and said his recently approved budget that he said protected the rainy day fund, that money would not be enough to bridge the potential losses from any sort of change in Medicaid. We'll stay on top of it, but for now, live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, Komo News.
Well, you heard it right there, everyone, right there at KOMO News, talking about this is a dire situation just right there in Washington state alone. What about your state? Where do you live? You know, what are the effects of these cuts that's coming right now as we face this new year? Well, that was an example right there you saw from Harborview Medical Hospital, where they described the dire situation, didn't she? Billions of cuts are coming to the healthcare system. And these, when they think of billions, think of millions of people, because these cuts, these numbers in dollars is cuts in people as well. Y'all, this is very, very serious. And so what they're saying was, did you see and hear where they're saying that They're going to force the able-bodied people to work or volunteer, do something. Well, that's good. I think that's great. If you're able-bodied, ain't nothing wrong with you. You should work. It should be that way. Or you can, volunteer to do something that you love to do as well, whatever. But yes, if you're able-bodied, you should be able to go to work. And notice what they said, 7.7 million people across this nation are going to be affected. Wow. And this is affecting mainly the rural hospitals. So you heard it right there. I mean, it's a lot of things going on, wherever there's a cause, something, there will be what? An effect. So let's take a look at some of the commenters and see how they responded on this dire situation that's going on in the healthcare system right here in Washington State, but yet in your very own state as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments. Okay, our very first comment is coming from Slippery Rage. Hello, Slippery Rage. Slippery got 48 likes on this comment. What about you? Let's take a listen. Why are you posting this lying garbage? That woman with the handicapped son would be covered under SSI. The cuts don't affect her. Stop lying to your viewers. He got 48 like, ooh. So he said what they reported there, he said that's lying garbage. Well, what she said about her son, how it's going to affect her if she doesn't get this covered. But a Slippery Rage said, no, she lying. What? Woo! And 48 likes and 3 replies. What about you? So he's saying that these cuts don't affect her, but we sure would like to see this story later on, wouldn't we? We would like to hear her story and her situation because we in it now. We're in the cut season right now. Take a look at our next commenter. Hilly, hello, Hilly, welcome. Your comment matters. Hilly says, I voted for this and I stand by it. Woo! Hilly got 9 likes on that comment. See, evidently her comment mattered. She said, hey, yeah, I voted for it. I voted for these cuts. Yeah, cut them off. These disabled kids, basically, they don't need nothing. They don't need our help. Cut them off. What? Wow. What a, ooh, girl, your comment mattered to 9 people, didn't it? Probably more by now. I don't know. Wow. What about you, audience? Do you agree with Hilly? Does her comment, do you agree that you voted for this? You want the handicapped people to suffer? Wow, that's something to think about, isn't it? Take a look at our next commenter coming from Trailer Hall. Trailer says, or maybe healthcare should be cheaper, LOL. So he's saying, okay, if you have these conditions, then make it cheaper for people to afford it. He got 4 likes up on that one, didn't he? What about Con is our next commenter. Hello there. Con says, the bill still needs to get approved by the Senate. Well, we know it did, didn't it? That happened in July. Everything got approved. It passed in July, didn't it? So he got 3 likes on his comment. And so here the Senate agreed with the House. Cut Medicaid, cut Medicare, cut them off. Let the premiums increase. Yeah, let it go up. Yeah, you was paying $500 now. So what if you got to pay $1,200? No, you got to pay. Go get a job. What? Get more money. You got to do something, or you not pay it and not have any health care. Y'all, that's where we are right now. Take a look at another commenter. This one is coming from Button Down. Hello there, Button Down. Button Down says, cutting Medicaid is cruel and will cost us more money in the long run. He got 4 likes on that comment. Wow, look at that. See, he used the word cruel. That's what they were describing in the story, didn't they? They say dire. It's a potential crisis. Look at the title alone. It says this is a potential crisis. So Button Down said, hey, it's cruel. And it's just going to cost us more money in the long run. Yeah, because where people going to go? You get sick. You don't have health care. You going to the ER. Somebody going to have to pay for it. If you ain't got no money, how they going to get money from you and you can't pay it? And they going to get money from you. What they going to do? Lock you up? What they gonna do? See? It almost as if they want us to die, huh? Almost as if they want us to die. Whew, I tell you, this is Your Comments Matter. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at one more. We did say we have one coming from Von Rock. Hello there, Von Rock. Your comment matter. Von Rock says, free is hard to quit. Stealing, not so much. So Von Rock says, if you're getting this stuff free, it's hard to quit something that's free. But see, those that's getting assistance, those that getting the assistance that they need, they can't afford it. So they should have some kind of subsidy, some kind of a program to assist the disabled and the poor and the very needy amongst us. All right, then, everyone. Hey, listen, those are our comments, or your comments. These are your comments right here on Your Comments Matters. Let us know what you think about each and everyone's comments. Slippery Ray, Chili, we had Trailer Hall, Con. We had Button Down and Von Rock right here at Your Comments Matter. And that's going to do it for us here on today. As we always say, I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing right here to Your Comments Matters. See you on the next video.